welcome to another test run. This is still in alpha. We're not in beta yet. So this is the alpha 3 of Chat Among Mates. And I have with me Luke from Big Game Small Pieces, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Mitch. How are you tonight?
Man, I'm living the dream. I'm really working hard. This is the third time I've streamed in like an hour just because I'm trying to get these settings right. So thank you very much for being a part of this. I do want to say Luke and I are the two halves of the coin for Two Guys, One Cast, where we used to go through a whole heap of stuff, but it's all on Big Game Small Pieces YouTube channel, which I'll just bring up right now. Bam! Big Game Small Pieces. So what's the last thing you did here? DM, and I'll go to videos, so it'll put it in order. Candlekeep Deconstruction.
Did I? Oh, yeah. That adventure. Yes, that was a good level.
That was a good one. I was
8-ish,
involved in one of those runs. That was a great adventure.
Once I sort out this work stuff this month, I should be back the following months to do a bit more on these weeknights.
So how do people get involved in a game like that? Do they have to be on your
Ah,
Discord?
well, eventually to play the game, yeah, they will. But essentially, I kind of post on my own Discord and Facebook channels first for a day or two, and then I post on Australian D&D Facebook pages. Let people know I'm also looking for rounding out the cast, try and get like your old 4 to 5 players. And
Why
then
why just Australian? Do you hate people not from this country? Is that what that is?
if they don't speak Aussie, man, I got nothing to say to them.
Well, you do have lots to say.
No,
They just won't understand it.
we have a good time, and I get the boys involved. But I try and pitch to Aussies first because I guess the time zones just suit a little better. Yanks are usually asleep by the time we're running our games.
Lazy. Always running behind time and asleep when we're awake. Just
Bloody
absolute
Aussies! Why are they playing their games at like 5 in the morning?
crazy Aussies. They're always up so early. But
What is?
I do love all these things. Like honestly, the way you review these does make me question one thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you run these games and then you do the reviews of them. Why would
Yes.
you not stream the games or record them so you have a record of them, so that when you then do a review, you could sort of potentially steal a little soundbite out of it, which
Right.
could add to it. If something
Well,
cool happened, at least you got the recording.
I guess because some of them I do play in person, and I don't have a full setup studio of cameras and microphones, so some of it is taken because I'm doing it in person, which is my preferred method. Others are done online, in which case, oh, jeez, I don't know. I'm getting older. I'm not tech savvy anymore. So I kind of I do what I can, and even one of the guys brought up one of the sessions like, "Geez, it would have been better with a bit of background music," and I was like, yeah, they took that feature out of Discord. I can't just stream YouTube stuff through that anymore. But they were like, yeah, fair call, though. I could have made it better by recording some music and playing it through another means rather than streaming YouTube, and I could have enhanced that game. So I take that on, but it is a lot of work to set yourself up as a online DM. As I was just playing around with to get ready for a Spelljammer campaign, and
Cool.
just moving boxes around and putting things places and trying to line things, and then thinking like, geez, if someone logs out of Discord, it's going to throw the whole picture frames out. I'm sure someone knows how to do it properly, but I don't. If someone would do the tech side of things for me, I would gladly do it. But unfortunately, it's
If only you
DMing
had
is
a tech
enough
savvy
work alone.
person inside your house that was also interested in D&D and cleverer than both of us put together.
Oh yeah, but my wife is would much rather be sitting back laying in bed than dealing for 3 to 4 hours of what my technical problems.
That's when you say, "Get back in wherever you'd like, darling, and I'll get you a tea. Would you like a tea, darling?
Don't you love me?
Oh, please don't stop. Don't realize that you're better than me and leave me. God damn, no."
Oh
Um,
yeah, as soon as she picks up on that, I am out.
oh, 100%. Dude, I'm still like slowly dosing my wife so she doesn't like just stays that little bit drunk from the first time we met.
Yeah. Yeah, just in morning coffees every morning. Just you can't have it totally sober, otherwise she'll realize.
I've also just thrown up pictures from one of the first. Remember when we were first doing the character things, and we'd like do really really dodgy put our faces on top of the character art, so the fighter and the monk.
Yeah, I remember we did a couple of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just put them up. So I just thought it'd be nice for the stream. But so
Hmm.
to give an idea of who Luke is a guy that has brought D&D to a lot of people. I'm one of those people he brought D&D to. I played my
Hmm.
first game with Luke, and I played. Most people could guess this, but it was a Drow Ranger, and in the scenario he ran for me and our friends, we're all in a tavern like normal, and somebody burst in the tavern, and I stealthed out the tavern and left the campaign. And Luke had to explain to me that yes, stealthing out is possible, but if you don't come back, you don't get to play. So then I had to sort of jig that where I came back in with my wolf power, and that was on third edition.
It can be tricky. Like people think cool characters are things like Batman, but Batman is actually a horrible character for D&D because he wants to go do everything a lot. You've got to want to do you've got to want to adventure, and you've got to want to do it with your team. Unfortunately, which means you've got to build a team that actually want to work together.
That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It's almost like, if they're not built for campaigning, for working in a group, maybe they shouldn't be. They should just be off on their own. Maybe a BBEG somewhere in your campaign when you're running as a DM.
Of course, they become NPCs.
Yeah, DM
Did
NPCs.
NPCs just become NPCs?
Yeah, the only time I don't condone that is when they become DM NPCs that become the hero of the story.
Hmm.
Although
That was a tricky one. That was a
it
tricky one to do.
it is my dream to someday run a game, because people know the sort of games I run.
Hmm.
So I would like to run a game, and I'll tell you about this. So if it happens, you'll know to pull the trigger. Where
Hmm.
the DM NPC is like the superhero and just keeps doing everything and stealing all the glory.
Yep.
And every time they go to town, all the townspeople don't want to talk to the actual party. They want to talk and just see how long it takes until they rise up and kill the DM NPC while he sleeps.
Hmm.
Is that toxic or is that just fun?
Well, I, I, in the right campaign, the DM NPC being more powerful can work. And I mean, the campaigns I'm talking about are like Master and Apprentice, where the DM NPC potentially is playing the master at the start of the adventure, where the player is the apprentice till they learn the world and the things, and
Yeah.
then they would then become the master, and the DM would bring in a new apprentice that they have to train. And where you see that sort of the thing happen would be things like Star Wars, Jedi Masters and Knights teaching their Padawans and such, or in games such even as like Men in Black, where K was the man in charge, and then Jay picked it up, and then all of a sudden, Jay becomes the master, and he starts picking up other people and work. So it works, but I mean, it, it's a you need to have players who are happy to
Play the
follow someone and
the
not be like, what do you mean I'm not the ultimate power in the galaxy?
Yeah, just like, were you in a marching band? Yes, I was. Did you play the trumpet or like the clarinet or flute? I played the clarinet. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're one of those back people. Um, here's a question for you. Would you play in
Hmm.
a campaign where Master and Apprentice style? So let's say Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like not even Apprentice like young Skywalker. I mean like even before that, like young Padawan, like brand new, where like Yoda's like, all right, I'll take care of these guys. And there's like 400 guys over there with giant armor and that. You take care of that rat in the tavern. And so these guys are fighting with the rat and the spider. And then you do their turn, and then you like cut to Yoda and he kills like 20 guys with a force push, cuts them in half, and then it cuts back. So it has no gameplay, like there's no rolls
Yes,
made or anything, but just the
yes, definitely.
comparison of them, like, I do one attack on the rat, and it's like this guy
Yeah.
cleaves through 13 people and then force flings their body in there and rips this dreadnought apart with the force, and he turns back and he looks at you kill the spider and goes, really good. That's fantastic.
I definitely would, because the combat isn't the important part there. The combat's just a cool thing to do every now and again, just test out your skills. But the important thing is the master apprentice relationship, and you see that in so many of the more recent Star Wars cartoon series,
Yeah.
where sometimes the apprentice rebels against the master, and the master's got to bring him back in line, either with a firm hand or a gentle hand, and then or
Cool.
vice versa. Like they do follow and take on. And I would love to sit there, and you'd have to sit down and talk with the person. Say, listen, well, do you want to try to do a resistive student for a while until they learn? Like, actually, I should probably pay attention to my master, and
Yeah.
that's then when they become the Jedi Knight, and that's when they get their Padawan, because now they've learned sometimes you've got to listen to your master now. And I did
Yeah.
the exact same, and then you turn it around on them. Then now you're playing the apprentice, which is rebelling against them, and they've got to
I'm
bring him in
loving
line.
this more and more. Like,
I, I
honestly.
I did this when players take on ownership, and I'm running Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where the players, spoilers,
Yeah.
get to become tavern owners. And one of the things I did was have a bunch of people come into the party and into their tavern that they just renovated, got all fixed up, spent a lot of money on, and they're like, "Yeah, let's cast fireball and throw things and throw axes at walls." And they're like, "You will not throw axes at my
I
walls." And
spent so
it's like,
long.
this is revenge from my all the times you guys walk into taverns and be like, "Let's fuck shit up." How do
I
you like it when someone else is doing it to you? And one of the guys went full dad mode. He was like, "No, you will not do that. Sit down there and drink your beer."
how dare you consider this? I put so much
It is,
effort in.
it's great to go full circle with that. But once again, you've got to talk
Ah.
to the player about exactly what the themes and the concept of the adventure are, and if it's going to suit them. As I was talking to you just a little while earlier, that we've got
Yeah.
a group that's a bit hack and slash, and
Never.
I
How
was
dare
running.
you? When I
How
when I
dare
tell the other
I?
guys, they will hack and slash you.
And I was going to run Curse of Strahd, but running it for another group, which was a little bit more role play. I'm not a huge role player. There's always got to be a bit more. Anyway,
Yeah. No, no, I'm with you.
I realised it was not the right campaign for that, and so I changed. Just because, and you've got to realise, just because you want to run something, your players may not want to run that, and that's where you've got to talk about things. That's that session zero sort of stuff where you talk about what this campaign's about and let people know, like, are you interested in this or are you not? Because if you're not, we might have to find something else.
I I'm torn on the whole I love my silliness.
Hmm.
But I am torn on the serious things because I still think one of the best things I've ever enjoyed in D&D was in one of Christian's games where I
Yep.
made the character choice of playing a plasmoid,
Hmm.
and mid-session I decided to murk someone and devour them.
Okay.
Because, in my head I'm like, okay, plasmoids probably eat meat.
Hmm.
They probably digest this stuff. What a perfect opportunity to take a short rest and eat this character in the bathroom while no one else is there, and then take his form. And it was one of those things that, like, when I did it, it made so much sense in my head, but everyone else was just like going, "What? Did you just straight up kill someone like cold blood in like a friendly?" And I was like, "Oh wait, hang on. I think I went too far into the role playing thing. That made so much sense to me in my head because
Hmm.
plasmoid oozes."
I love challenging myself to play
Hmm.
difficult things, and even as an experienced game master and player, it doesn't always work out. And sometimes you got to realize, be like, man, I thought this was the thing, and I was challenging myself, and I realized, like, I maybe on a shorter campaign this might have worked, but I'm just this isn't working for me anymore. This character character concept isn't working for me. And I have even had people come up to me and say like, "Oh, I just don't feel like my character's doing what it should." And I was like, "Well, actually, I'm surprised. Your character's actually the most." I feel is the DM's the most meaningful character in the whole campaign, but you're telling me you're not feeling it? Like they're not. No, okay, oh, fair enough. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
I feel like I understand I'm the center of attention, but I'd like a podium and a microphone as well. I don't just want to be the center. I want a piano accompaniment and applause after I talk on the mic on my podium.
superbliminal. Yeah.
Super, are you join the Navy? Oh, I guess.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
cutting back to it, um, you are potentially planning to start streaming on Twitch.
Well,
Potentially down the track.
that's a bold jump, but yes, all right, okay, yep. Streaming games of in some way.
Well, have you considered planning for like a one-shot stream and organizing someone to do the background stuff for you?
Honestly, it never even crossed my mind to implore someone to do something when they don't get to play and do things. I guess I'd need a tech. Back when I started, like people were given different roles in the game. Like someone was in charge of the group loot, and someone was in charge of the map, drawing a map because we didn't just get maps; we had to draw them. And another person was in charge of the music or the snack. Like people got different roles
The
in
snacks,
the
the
group.
most important one.
And
Don't
oh yeah,
stop halfway through that word.
well I was going to, but I was like, yeah, did we always do that, or did we just all pitch in for pizza? Anyway, it's a lot of responsibility to give someone. Potentially, if things aren't going right, and we know how easy technology just stops going right all of a sudden, you're just like, I don't know what's going on. And the worst case scenario, I remember we recorded a bunch of my White Plume Mountain campaigns with
Yeah,
Sven, Crit and Miss, and I think there was a technical issue, and we just lost like a whole episode. I mean, how does someone who's driven and kept keeping up with the story deal when they just miss a whole 3 hours of gameplay? The story, NPCs are involved, the whole thing, just for a technical issue. Big,
yeah.
big, big, big responsibility there. If it's being taken seriously, not just casually done.
Well,
But no, I
you
don't
know
really
me, I
consider
take
because
everything seriously.
life is, man. You are straight faced, and that's why they call you Stone Face Mod.
That's what they call me. That's what they call me. And if they don't, I give them a big smile and a hug.
Yeah.
But no,
Uh, yeah.
it is something that I think the shorter the sessions you have, the more likely you can get someone to help you with that.
Probably. Monday sessions are usually 2 to 2.5 hours before the boys start saying they're tired and want to go to bed.
God, we're getting old. Can't believe that happened.
Yeah, it's children, man. It's children jobs. Um, but yeah, I guess if someone wanted to, and that's why I was going to throw it to Crit and Miss, but it looks like he's got streams happening the same day we're doing now, so we'd have to pre-record it, which means I'd have
He
to
doesn't
manage
do Monday
things.
anymore.
Oh, really? I thought it was a Necro
Well, it
Cyberpunk.
was, but I think that's going to pre-recorded now. So I think he'd be
Okay.
very happy to host something if you were having something planned. So it is something he like. The reason I don't do my streaming stuff on Crit and Miss is
Yep.
purely because my stuff's a little bit unpredictable, and
Hmm.
I would never want to get someone a strike or some shit if I just run something like this, which is copyright banned. Let me just find something that I can. Here we go.
Yeah, I
Whee! Copyright ban.
I would write things that are just like, sorry, I'm playing this adventure, and that's what we're recording. I mean, there are so many people who do that. I honestly don't know what the. I guess it's just like if they wanted to track you down or if they didn't want to. Like, pretty crazy.
I'm actually really impressed. One of my mates made an awesome song and I used it in my Lancy intro I just started playing on the stream.
Nice.
And him and the guy he collabed with, I ran it and when I uploaded it to YouTube, it came up as a copyright strike, and then it straight
Mm.
away changed to this owner allows it to be used on YouTube. I was like, Legends.
No,
And to be
nice.
fair, I say it's a really good song, and I put their name in it. So yeah,
Yeah, well, I think if you just note down in the description, and that was one thing I was considering, rather than live stream, maybe I just hit record and then I chop it up later and I put all the work in. But honestly, I'm trying to look at reducing the work, and I know if you're smart with technology, you can reduce the work ahead of time by putting in a little bit of work early. But I'm just not that smart with this stuff, so
you're pretty smart though.
I scrape by.
Well, I'm always amazed at all these wonderful. I'm looking at your art that you do on our videos.
Art.
And I shouldn't say
Ah,
our videos. Like I'm on the videos, but these are 100% your videos. These are really well done. If it was my videos, it'd just be the video uploaded as is, because that's what I do. Um, I love these. I actually haven't. I don't. Oh, I have watched this one. What was the best
well,
subclass to play in Baldur's Gate 3?
that's available.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm still enjoying my monk to a degree, but all of a sudden, then I stop and take place and realize, like, I'm actually not using any of my special ability, but my subclass. So, like, maybe it isn't because I'm just not using it.
Why the
I
monk?
do.
Was it just the fact you do martial arts and kicking? Because that is pretty cool.
I do love a bit of martial arts.
I know you do.
It's just not covered by any of the other classes that already. Same as my immediate one after this is to go to Bard and do a Law Bard because I really want to play a Baria Law Bard next time I get to be a player. On a game I got to play a little while ago, because Baris don't actually have 5e stats, and I didn't want to push for the DM. I just played a Centaur Baria and a Centaur Bard, and that was great. But once again, as I was telling you earlier, that it was also the game where we didn't have a fight and we finished it with the whole campaign in 4 hours, just with a bit of role play, which was fun, but I wanted to fight something.
Yeah, you speedrun the campaign.
Yeah, come on, boys. Let's just straight to the. Oh no, it was just things like we kept getting like, and as the DM said at the end of the adventure, he's like, "Oh, it was like 50 ways you could do this." I'm like, "Man, you gotta. This is a one shot. You really, you gotta narrow these things down to like 3 or 4 that the group pick up on, because every time we found out about something and started looking into it, someone else would be like, "Well, what about that goat standing over there?" And they're like, "No, don't." We need to close off one thing before we open another. When we've got like 5 things open at the moment, we don't need more things. We need to narrow, not expand. I want to finish this thing.
Well, that like I think that's famous. Like the old one last thing. Like you're looking at something. It's the old you're in the tavern, and that uh VLDR VLDL Viva La Dirt League. They do a really good one of it where Rob the DM is telling the
Yep.
story, and they act out this scene because I've seen it happen so many times in game where the
Mhm.
DM's like, and you see across the bar from you a mysterious looking man with a hood drawn across his eye and a flickering arcane energy coming from the book he holds. He holds up his drink and nods at you and walks over to the corner. Who else at the bar? Oh, there's this person and a goblin. What's the goblin's name? Boblin. I want to go talk to Boblin the goblin. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, but that, and the goblin's like, oh, that man over there, he looks mysterious. Why are you trying to get us to leave, Boblin? What aren't you telling us?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
began the harrowing tale of Boblin the goblin. So the yeah, well, I love that. That's one of the things I do love about D&D, that the DM's plan never. That's where the fun for the DM comes. If everything goes to plan, it's generally not amazing. Like
Oh,
it's fun, but it's not as fun
yeah.
as when everything goes crazy and you have to think on the spot and you're
Mm.
challenged.
Oh, my game coming up in a couple of days on Sunday.
Yep.
The guys have just finished raiding a Waterdeep noble's house,
Yeah.
and they've all ran back to it's Waterdeep Dragon Heist. They've all ran back to their tavern now. They're all sort of bunkering down. They're having to put all some clues together, and there's like 4 or 5 different ways the adventure can go at this stage. but I don't know which one they're going to do. I'm sitting there reading pages and pages of information, but be prepared for any way they could go. But I mean, they could not do things. They could do things. They could misinterpret and just go off on different paths on things. I don't know where they're going to go. So
You and I,
by
you and
the
I
end,
approach that so differently. You're like, I have to do so much research to to work out where they're gonna go. I'm like, what are like
oh
three
no,
amusing gimmicks that I can put in front of them to entice them one way or the other? And like, you don't want to throw them on
oh,
rails, but if I give you an option of two, like, red pill, blue pill,
mm.
that's you
Oh no, I
making
just
a
need to know,
choice.
like, out of the 3 or 4 bad guys, if they start doing surveillance on the different places,
I
I,
like that.
I, I would then need to go back and have a look at, if they're doing surveillance on this house, what do they find out? If they're doing surveillance on this one, and if they're going to this one and attending a royal gala that's happening that night, I don't know which way they're going to go. So I just need to make sure I'm ready to know what they will do if they do surveillance on a house, rather than me sitting going, all right, everyone, go out for a smoke break. I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes while I read the adventure that I haven't planned for.
Um, if there is a dance, just search like a. Let me see if I've got one handy. I try and keep one handy at all time, but it might not be here. Um, yeah, try and find a picture on the web of an elf with big boobs
Okay.
in a formal dress, and just have that
Well,
person rock up, and it'll distract everyone for the rest of the game while you work out what you're doing. Just go, oh, this person walks up and approaches you, and just put that picture up, and they'll be like, I want to talk to her,
hmm,
and just play
there was
hard to.
a great one for running it was a heist. It might have been Candlekeep Keys from the Golden Vault,
Yeah,
where you had to go to a ball and find out what was going on. That was it. Was the level 10 adventure party at Palisade Hall, and yeah, it was all host. Next thing I know, one group are just they've gone upstairs. They're smashing the bathroom up as. Like the bard's downstairs trying to play music louder and louder to cover for the guest party as water is now starting to run down the stairs from the busted faucets. This fight that's happening upstairs with an ivory golem.
oh
It's just
god.
and smashing shit. They're picking up bathtubs and smashing it on people. The barbarians hurling them across into basins. Like the whole thing. And the bard's just down there just trying to play louder and louder. No one's clued on that this fight's going on at this big banquet
I
hall in
love the
another
fact that
dimension.
it's an ivory golem,
Oh,
so technically, like, you could be saying, like, as it's getting hit, it's playing music like a piano. Sure, the ivory's tied to
uh,
strings, but let's let fantasy be fantasy.
just
But
just a great adventure. And as I said to another guy I work with the other day, I was like, I need NPC 28 millimeter models that are dressed up as lord and ladies in balls because like I kept populating with my NPC miniatures, but they're all like farmers and barmaids. So it doesn't quite look right for a high class ball. Mm.
are you able to open up the stream for a sec?
What do you mean open up the stream? What are we talking
Open
about?
up.
So,
Oh, you're live, by the way.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, should have told you. Um, so go to Twitch, Among Mates D&D.
Oh, okay. Go
I
to
just
that.
want
Yep.
I just want to show you what you do.
Seen? Got it
Okay,
open?
so you sit there and
All right. Sorry, I got an ad. Oh, no, but I see you in the little top corner. You're good.
okay,
Go.
there'll be a thing. But yeah, basically you just be like, as you approach the hall, the hostess walks out the front and just put up like a picture like that. Uh, and job's done. Like D&D's done for the night. You can just chill out. They'll be rolling charisma checks while you work out who else is at the ball. You're just like,
Mhm.
and the people just be like, oh, boobs McGee, boobs McGee, boobs McGee.
Yeah, when there's scene from the mask. Aruga.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I hate to say guys are simple, but there's
Yeah,
a reason OnlyFan works.
that's the
Like,
reason it works.
there's a reason this stuff works. Guys are very, very simple. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, so the I want to do a couple things before you go because I'm not going to steal you all
okay.
night because you and I could talk forever, and especially if I start drinking because So my thing is I've tried to come up with a list of things I want to do when I chat to people,
Okay.
and one of them is a D&D one shot.
Mhm.
Right. So let me just grab that. Quick shot. One shot. You don't have to have one.
Oh, I've had about 6.
Yeah, I
It's a
figured.
school night. It's a school night. I've had about 6. Whew.
But yeah.
Hopla.
One shot. Opa! Yeah, next thing is, as a DM or as a content creator,
Yeah.
what is a regret that you haven't done yet? Something you feel that you could have done but you haven't done yet.
Haven't done yet. Okay. Well, in regards to like running games or creating content, what do we? What's the?
As a content creator.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I haven't been adding music to the background of some of my things, and I think that's a thing that helps with what people are creating. So the background music in general, such would be good. I have been doing a lot of making a lot of STLs on the
I've really
DM's
loved
Guild.
them. Like, I'm actually going to try and bring that up right now. Some of those are amazing. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's been a
STLs,
lot of work.
that's a standard something form.
An STL is a standard file for a 3D printer. So you
Wait, are
use
they
an
listed on
STL.
YouTube? The ones that are, or do you only have like what's
No,
available?
it's well. There's one that I've sort of got lined up at the
Where's a
moment.
link? Where's a link?
Oh, I don't know if I've got any links on
on
there. It'd be in the if you go and do the DM's Guild.
DMSguild. Oh, I like this. I like where this is
Yeah,
going.
yeah, it's official.
Do I do I have access because I know you? Can you get me in the front doors? What's the password?
What do you mean it's passwords?
I don't
You
know.
get your own
Is it like a cool gin joint?
type in STL. Type in STL. You come up with my stuff immediately. I'm one of the only people who put STLs on this, and there's probably a reason why I should be doing that. You can see my stuff right there. There's the
Hell yeah.
halfling deities, the rune, a whole bunch. I've got like 10 to 20 of these
And they're
these things
cheap
out
as
there.
chips.
Oh, they are cheap. They're less than. I've designed it so it's less than 50 cents Australian per symbol. So you can get heaps and heaps and heaps. And you've probably gone past all mine now, but
There's quite a lot here though.
there is a fair few.
What's your
And
favorite one?
hopefully,
What's your favorite symbol?
ooh,
Do you have one?
I like those planar ones you're hovering over there.
Yeah, I like them as well.
They all look good as planes, but it comes down to the common deity symbols. You go to and if you click on, is there a quick look at the? You're
Click
looking at it
here
as
for
a
more. Which one?
yeah, anyone of them. They're all good.
Let's
They bring up a
do Halfling Deity.
Yep.
Here for more. So it's got all these ones.
So when you go to quick preview underneath the oh, that's my phone telling me something. If you go to under quick preview,
Where is
that
it?
should show you. It's right under
Quick preview. Yep.
it should show you the sort of stuff I'm producing. It's
Oh
nothing
yeah, very
overly fancy.
cool.
It's not a big 3D designs, but you can see the symbol, what it was meant to be, the unpainted and then the painted version of
That's
these
unreal.
pieces.
Do you know how to
And
pronounce all
you
these words? Tell me the truth. Let's
get
go one for one. You're the top one on the left.
Avorin.
Brandebras.
Mm. Uh, Chirolia.
uh,
That was wrong. Totally
Charmeline, Charmeline. That's a song
wrong.
writing itself.
Darlathwan.
I like the way you did that. Puan, Puan.
Wow.
I know it's
Wow.
halfling, but it felt like an elf name. My name
Mm.
is Dala Puan. Sheila. Wait, I should have reread this before I actually tried. Sheila Periro.
Yeah,
Perry
that's the
Royal.
one.
Perry Royal. Oh, that's nice.
And you've got Urolgalana.
And the last one, which looks like the Aboriginal word for creek or something, is Yondala.
Yes, it is Yondala. That is the, and she's made it not just she's broken out of the Halfling pantheon and made it into the full Faerunian pantheon.
Really?
Yeah, she is the maiden of plenty and food and agriculture sort of thing. So she's made a bit of.
Did you
Bit
say
of a
maiden
splash.
of plenty?
Plenty.
Um,
Yes.
sorry, I just had to throw that picture up after saying the word plenty. But that's bloody awesome, man. I didn't know there was that many. Like you've been keeping at them like almost one a week since you started. They
Oh,
look great.
man,
Um,
when I jump on my designs and have a look at how many I've actually got, I'm sitting at over 500. What's that even telling me? In pages of 26 per page, I've got 27 pages of 26 a page. So, let's call it
damn,
25 a
that,
page,
that's over
400.
500.
They're
That's
like
getting towards
500,
600, 700 almost.
yeah, images. And they just keep growing and growing and growing as there's a lot of gods and and houses and noble families and
It's almost
crests and banners.
Pratchett-like. Good old
It is.
small gods.
Mm.
Ah,
So there
good
is
old.
plenty there, and that's one thing I probably need to do a little. And a little project I'm working on at the moment, where
Mm,
like I've got a lot of miniatures, but miniatures are real expensive. And even if you own like 10 goblins, you'll open up one DM guide, and they'll be like, "Hey, there's 16 goblins in this room." You're like, "Oh, that's another $50 to $80 I've got to spend on goblins just for this one thing." And also the space of storing these things is becoming quite a thing in my household, as my wife will let me know. But so I've started designing these little tokens that you can use for inch size and such for medium-sized creatures, and they've
yeah.
just got a simple image on them, such as, for example, a ghost. I've got a little 24 millimeter token, 1 inch, and it's just got a very cartoonish ghost
Almost
on the
like
top of it.
Pac-Man.
And then the benefit of that is it's easily identifiable. You can print them either in different colors or paint them in different colors,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you can have 20 ghosts for like $1 if you want, if assuming you own a printer and things like that, rather than spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And also the ease of, I mean, I
Yeah.
play with a lot of miniatures, and when you've got 15 goblins out on the table, trying to remember which goblin's number 5 and how many hit points he has compared to goblin with a short sword, goblin with a long sword, goblin with a spear, goblin with a little red thing on his head, got thing on this
My
goblin,
favorite
and you.
memory of playing with goblins like that, like with heaps of characters, is I'm trying.
Mhm.
I think it was when I was playing at JR's place, and as stuff was happening, they were taking out little bands, little like red band, yellow band, green band,
Yes.
and putting them on people. So like, oh, that one's
Mm.
got. Oh, you've got concentration. We'll put a white band on you.
Yes,
Blah, blah.
here we go. All those,
But then like
and it's complex. It is complex, and
but
even, it's still hard to remember
the best
which
bit
guy has which
was
hit points.
they'd get to someone and they'd be like, "Oh, we've hit him. Wait, have we hit him before? He's got a red band. What does red band mean?"
Uh,
So all of a sudden, there's all these bands on characters. No one knows if that means they've been injured or if they're concentrating or if they're held person. And it just got really fucking funny really fast. So people just started packing on bands just to fuck with the DM. It was really good. But that's how it
So
is.
what I'm thinking, you can have the orange goblin, the black goblin, the red goblin, the blue goblin, the this goblin, and you can have all your colors that immediately make it very easy to have 10 goblins out on the gaming table
Yeah.
for low cost, easily identifiable, and storage space is very minute. This is the sort of thing I'm thinking about. How do I make a good video about this, selling these things, as I'm about to release them on the DMSguild? But yeah, these are the things I'm working on at the
Um,
moment.
it would be cool if you could, like, I know you're probably working already, so this isn't going to help you at all. But one thing that I think would be cool if somehow, because one of the things I really liked about, it's not the starter kit. It's one of the kits that came with an initiative count. So basically, when you did rolled initiative, you handed out the
Yes,
initiative tokens,
yes.
and I really liked that. But I always thought it'd be cool if there was those little flip tokens, like the ghost, that somehow you could slot an initiative count into it.
Hmm.
So you're actually like, oh, that's ghost number 4. Or like better yet, it had a part that you could put out and put into an initiative counter.
A number on it, yeah.
So basically, it's got a slot. So when that comes into play, you can take that out of the slot, put it into the initiative number 4, and then goes down. I don't know. It's just something that I thought would be really cool if you had a physical initiative counter you could slot cards into, so you knew what you're looking at. But yeah,
Well, I've just thrown them in my Discord. Jump on my Discord, have a look in the general chat. But they're all the class
you've
tokens.
taken off all the nudes, right?
No, but don't worry. These other covers fill the forward you're going to get.
I'll skip past the nudes. That's right. I'm scrolled down.
So when you look on the digital one, you'll see the token of I've got the druid there in big, and then I've got all the tokens underneath it. So like you can print these things off, and if you're smart, you can pause the print at once it's done the disc, and then you can change the filament over so it'll print the actual image in a different color. So therefore you don't have to paint, or you print the whole thing in one color and then just quickly go over it with either a paint pen or a little bit of paintbrush and that, and cover the top ones. And there you go. There's all your symbols for all your classes. You for I don't know, like a less than $1 of filament, you can have all your players can have a token now to
I love that. Is that a scythe with leaves, or is that a dragon flying downwards?
That's a scythe with leaves. That's the druid symbol. If you
is it?
Yes, that's the symbol for druid of the D&D. So if you look at the images that's below it, of all of them, you got artificer, barbarian, bard. Ooh, what's that one? Is that the blood hunter?
Blood hunter.
Then you've got the cleric, druid, fighter, monk, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, warlock, wizard. As it goes down and going left to right.
Wait, is the rogue the eagle on a stick?
It's if you got it larger, and I can throw a larger image of it in there. It's a dagger through a like a little mask.
Okay. Yeah, no, I see it now. I'm really good at cloud watching. I'm the guy that everyone's like, look, a bunny, and I'm like, that's a turtle with a hat. I'm that guy.
And as long as you understand what it is, so bam, there it is. And I've even done some others that are done a little bit more fanciful for those who like to have a bit more and say, let's grab the what's your favorite class, man?
I just want to say it kind of reminds me of when I go to the therapist and he just keeps showing me pictures of me murdering my family.
Boobs. I don't know why he keeps doing it.
What were you saying? What's my favorite class?
Big class. I'll throw these other ones. They're a little bit more fancy.
Artificer.
Artificer. I have the Artificer. All right. Well, here is the Artificer on my Discord. So coming through now. What do you reckon of that?
That's cool. That's very cool.
That's a little bit more fancy. The discs are the basic one. That will fit in a hex grid as well. That'll fit in a hex grid, and you could even change the colors between the outline of the dice to even then going again if you kept putting pauses.
Can you like put a resin over that and then like make it into a coaster for me? Because that looks cool as hell.
I definitely can. I'm playing with coasters.
I swear.
I'm playing with coasters at the moment for a few other things, but the difficulty is making something that's flat so things don't just obviously topple over. So coasters doing the opposite.
Well, the bigger my glass, the less chance it's going to fall over. So, I've got a nice wide Scotch glass here, and that's an Artificer glass as well that you've seen before, the Meeple and Dragon one.
I have. I've seen that one.
I keep it in its special box, and I never watch
it. Is it the same design? Is it the same design for Artificer?
No, they've got like...
they've made their own?
Goggles with cogs and shit in them.
Okay.
Still looks awesome, but it is missing the normal hammer and stuff like that. Hang on, let me just refresh my webcam. Perfect, I'm pretty again. So they look absolutely awesome. So is that one available on the DMSguild?
Yeah, the class ones are out. That should be on the DMSguild. So it's the monster token ones that I'm still working on at the moment. I want to get enough of the common monsters.
If I wanted to print off the deity ones, how much would it be, you reckon, to buy a printer that would do it and the filament?
Ooh, there's your cost.
Are we looking like $600?
You could probably get a cheap printer that can do that, but you're going to struggle with a lot of things. Like in Australian currency,
yeah,
you're looking
That's
for
generally the currency we use. Yeah,
That's what we use. You're looking, obviously, I would recommend something like a Prusa. You just can't go wrong with Prusas. They're workhorses. They will
Prusa.
just keep going and going. Or Bamboo's coming out with really fast ones. The Prusa Mark IV is doing pretty good, but the Bamboo Labs one is just it's been out for a long time and it's fast as. But I mean, these things don't take long to print. They're only made like 4 millimeters high.
Oh, damn, they're
They're
way cheaper than I thought.
yeah, so you can get them, but once again, like you'll fight with a printer. That Ender 3 S1 Pro for $400 you're seeing there on that.
Yep.
They're not too bad. They're slow. Enders are slow though, but I mean, if you've got time, you can print things.
Yeah, if you got time, it's the end of the game. I like it. And yeah, so that I've always wanted to do it, but honestly, I feel like it's something like painting minis that I'll never actually do. But I do know like a lot of people that do it well. Like you and my mate Sam both do this really well, so I'm always blown away when I see it.
Man,
I actually
I,
I can't put it up, but I actually went to a top secret lab when I was in Denmark and watched them printing cushions, which is the
nice.
new cushions can cost like the cushion for a wheelchair can cost like $800, $1,000, $2,000 depending.
Hmm.
But my company's like learning to 3D print them, so they'll actually have the correct tension in that, and then they're actually almost infinite. You can basically just wash them with acid or whatever to clean off all the body junk and reuse them,
Yep.
and they'll only cost hundreds, and they
Right.
basically last forever. So it's pretty cool. I'm very excited. Um,
Mm,
so I got a couple questions for you before you go. So that
okay.
regrets went a little bit long.
I
Um,
did.
but we got a lot of good information. We got to go through your things. So that's awesome. I'm going to go back to
Mm.
this. Um, confession. As a DM, what's the worst thing you've ever done?
Been a bad player.
As a DM?
Yeah, well, as a DM, I've come across to people's, and I've just not been a great player. As I was telling you before, like
Wow. Okay. No, I love that. I love that. That is,
sometimes
it's
I test myself and I try something challenging and it doesn't work out, and I realize, oh, I was a bad player for that session. I was kind of a bit of an ass. Shouldn't have done that. But
fair
yeah, as a
enough.
DM, it's participate in someone else's game and be an ass, basically,
We've
rather
all
than
done it.
yeah. Well,
We've
it
all
happens,
done.
but as long as hopefully try and move ahead, not
No,
do it
no
again.
one's perfect except for our wives. And last question. This is a big one.
Okay.
What if you had to actually say what class you are or subclass? Now,
Hmm.
I want you to think about it because I'm actually going to write down my answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to write Luke is a, and so we'll do
Mhm.
class first.
Okay.
Okay. So don't say it out loud. I'm going to try and work out what you think you are. And now it doesn't have to be like you're that thing. So obviously, I don't expect you to go, oh, well, I don't have magical powers or anything. But
All right. Well, that opens up a lot more classes.
I'm gonna try and guess the class, but then I'm gonna also try and guess the subclass. Okay, so I've written
Oh,
them down, and I can
oh, we're
bring.
talking fifth edition. All right, well, I got to change my option. Change my.
Yeah, it's got to be fifth
I wasn't
edition,
going with fifth
because
edition. Come on,
otherwise you could be like, oh, I'm the soapboxer or whatever it is from third edition, the prestige class. I forget what it was called,
man.
but there was one that you showed me that was really cool, and it was basically just made for standing on a soapbox and talking about your religion. God, that was good. I forget the
Oh,
word for it, but it was basically like a prostate or something.
well, I got to stop and think. Oh, what am I classing? What
So
subclass? Me.
class first.
Mm. I don't even know what are the subclasses for that class.
Well, I'm gonna save you. I'm
Oh,
gonna save you the effort. Ready? Your class
okay.
is the class you consider yourself to be is
Okay.
wizard.
Wizard. Wizard. Okay.
Is that what the answer is?
No.
What's yours?
Paladin.
Paladin. Really?
I'm that good, man.
Wow. Listen, I'm not having a go at you because you got no charisma. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm
No, low
saying
charisma. I'm
the
not a
amount,
bard.
like, out of all my friends, if someone was going to build a wizard's tower and, like, absolutely, like, study up on every single aspect and plan everything out, that would be you.
I don't have the intelligence for that, man. I'm a
I know
sorcerer.
you could be a low intelligence wizard. I just mean your methods are 100% read, study, study.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
Sorry, and I did
I'm
mean in
planning on going.
D&D. Your approach to D&D, I probably should have said.
I'm planning to go away with work, and I'm already printing off like 5 different D&D books. I'm
That's
tempted to just.
wizard. That's a paladin doesn't print off books. God damn it. The worst goddamn a paladin just well. Hey, to be fair, if you are you gonna hand the books out to people and proselytize and try and make them D&D addicts?
Yeah, you should play D&D. Yeah, the bloke who's out there with me, he's going to suffer pretty greatly.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, some of the best things about army is when you're sitting around and somebody's just talking at you about something they love, and you just get to enjoy it. He's like,
Yeah.
tell me more. And they tell you more. And like sometimes I learned a lot of shit. But
That's enough. Stop talking.
yeah, no, but like you know, like if somebody's talking about their boat, you can pick up a lot of fucking tips about working with a boat by listening to someone that loves boats or loves fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this. I won't tell you the answer to this,
Mm.
but I'll let you guess my class and subclass.
Yours.
Mm.
All right.
This is a hard one, I think, because
And this is about D&D, not about just how you like you put a few extra stipulations in once I said paladin.
no. All right. Just I'll tell you this is kind of how I think about myself.
No worries. You are a light cleric.
Ooh. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that is a compliment of the highest regard. I
Yeah,
wish I was a
you.
light cleric. That I look up to being a light cleric. Um, if I was talking about my personality, I'd say College of Spirits Bard.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Because all I do is try and tell stories and relate stuff to me.
Yeah, I was getting stories. That's
Yeah,
what I was
no,
thinking, cleric. You
I
you tell the
appreciate it.
stories. You listen to how people say about things, and you try and covertly bring them around to your line of
Covertly, yeah.
thinking. I've seen you work your magic.
Covertly or intimidate. Just rolling. I use one of those
People are
skills.
idiots if they're not
But
seeing you.
I see myself as a bit of a skill monkey
Okay.
because there's a lot of things I'm not good at. But
Yep.
due to a lot of failure over my life, there's a lot of things I'm good at. And I do consider myself to be a bit of an alchemist. Not an alchemist, a artificer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I forgot you and I got trades, so alchemist would well, artificer would fall into that.
But it wasn't about the trade. Like for me, it was about the way I sort of like even like in my work, I'm always trying like I look at here's my job and it annoys the shit out of me if I can't do my job. So I'll literally sit there and make little programs and make a sheet and make this and I'm trying to make everything more efficient when that's not actually my job. I just can't stop. So, which is it's a horrible thing, but it's like an addiction. I'm like a mad scientist when it comes to efficiency. Like it drives me crazy. But it's one
Yep.
of those things. So I was thinking about it, but I don't think I'm an armorer. I don't think I'm an alchemist. I think Jones is a bit an alchemist.
Yeah, Jonesy's probably down that.
I
Down that
think I'm a battlesmith. That since we stopped making the videos, I've lost my little friend that travels with me.
right?
I'm a battlesmith without a companion.
No. We'll get you a little puppy.
Yay! But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say, and it's starting to get late. But I did want to stop by and say g'day and wish you well on your trip when you do go, and
Mm.
let you know that I will be potentially. I talked to you guys about this soon. I'll be bringing you guys in for a game of Lancer.
Yes, I did see that. What's your plan there?
So my plan is basically I actually did this with Loki earlier tonight.
Mhm.
Um, I'll get you all in.
Yep.
You'll make your characters on the fly, which is super easy.
All right.
So you literally just go to an app and you just click like create new character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it right now on stream because it's that easy. So create new character.
I'm
Bam.
watching. I can be Shinji, right?
You could be Shinji, but I'm just gonna go random name, random call sign. The background you can roll a d20. Priest, and then character template. If you guys are going in to mess people up, but let's go sniper because you guys are going to do a recon mission,
Oh yeah.
which I think it'd be funny to do a recon because I can just see straight away it's going to hell, especially when you see the loadout for a sniper.
Yep.
So, yep, register. So that character's done. And then all you guys would have to do is go export pilot data file, and send that to me. I load it
Mm-hmm.
in, and you guys are in the combat simulator, and we're playing
Okay.
Lancer. It's that
That's
easy. And then basically, I'll drop you in. You guys can shoot some aliens, and yeah, if you like, basically, it's so when you're outside your mech, you use those. So you've only got +2 on 4 out of the like 30 abilities.
yeah.
So it's only +2. It's not like everyone's going to be really like, and it's basically if you roll a 10 or if you get to 10 with your +2, it's a victory. If you don't, it's a failure. And then you've got all these weapons. Then you get in your mech, which is called Best of Luck in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And you go out, and with this, you've got a thermal rifle, an anti-material rifle, and a segment
Yep.
knife, and rocket jetpacks. And basically, you fly around and kill shit.
Noise.
But yeah, you're expected to, and it's the simplest thing in the world. Initiative works like you go first, and then one
Yep.
of my guys go, and then you guys go, and then I go, and you guys can just decide.
Okay.
So it's the easiest thing in the world. So I can literally walk you through it, and the actual app tells you how to do everything as we're doing it.
Noise.
So brand new game. It'll take an hour or two to play, and we'll be done with that mission, and you'll all level up. But anyways, did you have anything you wanted to say about anything that's coming up before we head off for the night and head to our bedroom for some wild, passionate lovemaking between the two of us?
Mm-hmm. No, I have had to take a bit of a rest from running games on my channel because work's been intense. But people are sick, people are away, all sorts of things are happening. But that should all calm down within a month. So after a month, I should open back up and be running a lot more games on my channel. So anyone's interested, jump on board and yeah, classy. And I'll run some free games. Once again, I don't charge usually at all or ever so far. So it's been
You
20
always
something years
charge
of
me.
role playing. Mate, that's sanity costs. So, like,
Hey, fair enough, fair enough. It's well deserved. But no, that's fair. So jump on his Discord, Big Game Small Pieces. It's linked in all his YouTube videos, Big Game Small Pieces on YouTube. Go to DMSguild or DMsguild as some people would say, and search STL and find all his DD STLs. And apart from that, man, you head to bed, make that wife of yours happy. Here's some boobs for everyone, and have a great evening. I'm gonna leave it. If you have the stream open, I'm gonna switch to the intro for the Lancer campaign.
yep.
So you get to see that. But apart from that, man, good night. And yeah, good to chat to you again, man. Thanks for coming along and
Well, it
chatting.
was, Mitch.
Yeah.
Not a
Two
problem. And
guys, one cast.
and if you could just send me that elven maiden
I will
picture
send you
of
that
chat.
Elven Maiden. I'll send that, guys. I'll make an STL of that Elven Maiden's boobies, and everyone can have a copy. Oh, and also links in the chat for his Discord. Good job, man. Thanks for doing that. All right, peace out and enjoy the intro. Let us know what you think. All right, bye.
Bye.
You were a child, so hungry for the world before you, new like you, and over time your skin creases and your scars collect, and there's nothing you can do. Still it burns, I'll enter my grave singing this is fine with me.
Cowbell ready.